Hello guys, today I'm going to be doing an LEC 2026 tier list. We have the S rank for teams I'm going to do really well, the A rank for teams that are going to do okay, a little less than okay, probably pretty bad, and teams that I don't really know. And by the end of the video, I'm going to be comparing my list to Sheep Esports list, where they put their rankings, and you can see what they are here. Alright, without further ado, let's start. I'll just go from top to bottom right on this list here, and we can see what players they have on each team. So starting off with Fnatic, they replaced their top laner. I forgot who he was, but that guy was an Inter. Let's search him up real quick. It was Oscarin. Yes, Oscarin was an extremely inconsistent player last year, and he more often than not was having a pretty poor performance against laning against his laning opponent. So, and they also got Vladdy and replaced Mickey X with Laspa. Replaced Poby and Humano with Vladdy. What do I think about this? I think that Vladdy and Laspa and all these places, none of it will really matter, because at the end of the day, I don't think those were the roles that were causing the issues on the team. I think the biggest problem Fnatic has is Razork. Razork has problems, although he has like really good plays, his ability to connect his plays and thoughts and ideas with the rest of his team is often very poor. And you can see by how a lot of the team fights go and how messy the fights are, that he's not communicating with his team nearly as much as he should be, which is why the fight and game turns out the way they do. Very often, he has a winning early game, he has a good fundamental idea of how the game in the early game is supposed to be played, but during the mid game, during the late game, his ideas often fall flat because he has trouble connecting with the rest of his team. So we have Razork and Upset as the only two players that are staying as an ADC player. What do I think about Upset? I think he's an extremely solid player, very good, and you can't really comment on his performance since ADC was such a relatively weak role last year, but I think he did what he needed to do, and you can't really blame him at all for the team struggles. Yeah, so I'm gonna be putting them at let's see here, I'll put them at an A tier, but this is like a low A in my opinion, not like a low A or a high B, because I don't really expect them to. I expect them to have better mechanics than maybe some of these players, but some of the other people in the role, but team play wise, I don't think they'll be what's it called, much of a threat. So middle of the pack, but top of the middle pack. G2 Esports, they didn't make a single change to their roster. I was begging them to get inspired for 2026, but I understand why they would want to get inspired since they already had such a good thing going and they had just gotten Skewmon. But I would have loved to see Inspired and Caps play together for at least one time. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, and they kept their roster. But this G2 roster is obviously very, very good. They got to the quarterfinals of Worlds, and they lost. But they did. This team did manage to be an NA team for the first time in 3 years, which hats off to them. They beat my region. Obviously, not much to talk about. They're a good team. Probably number one to number 3 at least. And it'll be anything that's not 1 to 3 would be pretty surprising. Giant X, a lot of the people have been commenting on how good Giant X are in scrims, and I believe that. Jackie is really good mechanically. Isma has been improving as a jungler. He didn't look that good originally, but he on especially was on when he was on. I forgot what team was on, but it wasn't. But yeah, he really improved by a lot. And obviously Noah and June have previously played on the Fnatic roster. Now they're reunited on the Giant X roster, and they're just anybody that has seen June and Noah play. They're a really strong bot lane. And in this meta, where ADCs actually do damage and you need a good ADC to set yourself up for success, and someone reliable to get you through the end goal, Noah is someone that you can depend on. So I would put them over G2. I would put them not over G2, over Fnatic. Sorry, I misspoke. So they were at high A, and Fnatic are probably a low A. Next is Karmine Corp. We have Kana, Yike, Kiehu, Khalees, and Busio. They replaced. Wait. What? They didn't even give the. Let's see here. A Corp League. I don't remember his name, but everybody knew him as the Inter. And it was Targamas. Yes, Targamas. Targamas was replaced, which is really surprising to me. And he didn't even get a. Not surprising to me. But it's surprising that he didn't even get a chance on another team. Because although he wasn't playing good, or that good, he wasn't playing bad. He definitely did improve from the years before, and he was still improving, but he wanted a very good support. They wanted a support upgrade, and Busio was who they went with. And Kiehu is obviously another Korean mid laner. It does seem like he's an import though. So this guy I think has been in here for. Looks like he's been in here for a long time. How? Or not? What the heck? How do they have 3 import slots? Okay, that's confusing to me, but who cares? This guy is known as a very mechanically good mid laner. I think he was top of the ladder on Korean solo queue, and they just picked him up. Yeah, so I'm not sure what to comment, so I'm just gonna put them in a player ranking now. This is Ace Karmine Corp, and they have to be S. They just have to be S, bro. There's no way they aren't S. Every one of these players are such like top caliber and could be put as number 1 in their role if they wanted to. Like if you just compare player to player from G2, Karmine Corp, Kana versus Broken Blade, you can make an argument for Kana being better than Broken Blade. Yeah, better than Jumon. We'll see how Kiehu does against Caps, but I'd imagine that he'd be able to keep up with Caps at the very least mechanically. But people would probably favor Caps over Kiehu since we haven't seen this guy play basically at all. The list over Hansama is what I would say personally. I like Hansama, but Khalees has shown more mechanical skill than Hansama has. And Labrov, he's shown a lot more inconsistencies in his year in 2025. And I think that you can definitely make an argument for Busio being better than Labrov once again. So, yeah, they belong in the same tier, I think. Next up, we have the movie star Koi. So one of my favorite teams to watch in the LEC because Jojo Pian came from his stint on C9 from the previous year, getting kicked from C9 And then we have some fucking bullshit made up saying that he was like a tardy person and now he wasn't on time to the meetings or anything. But I don't think that the best mid laner in NA would have such poor habits or such inconsistencies or something that would make him such a bad, that would hinder him from being such a bad player. It just doesn't, it's just not something someone who's this good at the game would be doing, being late to everything, you know? So I think that was such a shitty thing from C9 to do, and I'm glad that he got a chance in EU to play on such a, I wouldn't say this is a good roster when you first look at it at a first glance, but Elioya is somebody that I have a lot of respect for, who a long time ago played on Mad Lions, and he demonstrated how good he was there, and now last year he also demonstrated once again how good he is. So this is one of my favorite mid jungle players. I also like Mirren. The bot lane I think is relatively on the weaker side of things, but it's not like they're bad. It's just that when you compare them to players like Upside, Hansama, Kalist, and other bot lanes, you can't really put them up against and say they're better against any of these players. But they handle their own bot lane just fine, and their top side usually is the players that get them across the finish line. So I would say that Movistar Koi would be also up in the A tier. Where are they? And in the S tier, I mean, sorry. And I'd probably put them in the middle. They're just as good, I think. Navi, I haven't seen any of these players except for Poby and Han Som-D. It's amazing to see that Poby decided to stay in EU, but it's pretty sad that he ended up on this dog shit fucking team that nobody has any respect for. I might just put this, I'm just gonna go ahead before I say anything, put this in the low. So far the lowest will be the B tier. I'm not sure if I might even put this on, I don't know, but let's just put this here because obviously I haven't seen any of these players play, and maybe they'll do good, maybe they'll be a dark horse, or maybe they'll do better than expected, but yeah. Anyways, on to the next. Shifters, this is previously known as BDS. BDS changed their org name or their organization to Shifters, and we have some random ass players, but this guy is their new jungler, and let's see his past Aclodites. He is, where do they find this guy? Wait, does this guy play at all? He didn't even play in EMEA or LFL at all during last year. Where was he last year? Anyways, yeah, Nuke is a very good player. This week they have imported a Korean top and Korean ADC, it looks like, and Trimby is someone that a lot of people know. And as the engaged support, would you know him as an engaged support player, or would you? He's also known for his Soraka and his wacky bits. You would know him for his Nasus support. I still remember the one big Nasus support, and it was against like 5 mages and spellcasters, and it was like the worst thing ever. And the idea behind the Nasus support was that you would just wither the enemy team when they first picked Kalista. So it'd be a good kind of pick against Kalista, but that's not what they did at all. I think they picked it against like an Ezreal who was just spamming Q from away, and the Wither, you would never even be able to get in range to Wither because the Ezreal was just spamming Q, which is, yeah, like this guy was legit trolling, by the way. But he was also insane. when he was good. So, oops. I'd probably put them. Yeah, that's a fucking B, bro. That's a B, and no, but they're above Navi for sure. SK Gaming, as I'm sure you've heard now, Mickey X decided to build his own team on SK Gaming with Wonder Leader. He says that Leader was the only answer to how Caps played, which honestly I believe. If you guys watched Leader on the one split he played against Caps, Caps counterpicked the Malphite into Leader's Aurelia, right? And Leader just took a fucking fat shit on Caps, even when Caps got the counterpick, and that was just so amazing to see. And this guy also plays like some really fun champions like Zed, Yasuo. He's someone who plays the game his own way and finds success through hit the champions that he wants to play, which I have a lot of respect for. So I think this team can do good, but something that I am scared of is I don't know how good Jopa is, and I don't know how good Wonder is right now, as they haven't played. I haven't seen Wonder play in a year, and I've never heard, or I'm not too familiar with this Jopa or Skeens guy. But if this is someone that Mickey X has personally picked, then I think I trust his judgment. But Wonder, mechanically, I've seen him play during his stream. He doesn't look like he's that formed up, and I'm scared that he won't be able to keep up with the other top laners that there are in this league. And top is such a stacked role right now. We have Mirren, Broken Blade, Kana. Do I say the boss? Naknako is someone that people have been talking about as well. So yeah, let's see where I would put them. SK Gaming, I'll put them upper B, lower A. I'll put them in upper B for now. I'm not too confident, but I'm not too confident that they will get their ball and wheel right on the gate, right out the gate. All right, off to Team Heretics. We have Kraken, Geo, Saren, Ice, Stent. Wow, what an interesting roster. I haven't even heard of half this roster. They replaced everybody, it seems like. This was a team with no. This was not. Vitality was a team with Spodek. What I was trying to think was what I was thinking about. This is a team with Flackhead, right? Yeah, I can't believe they replaced Flackhead. Flackhead is someone that was really good, but Ice replacing Flackhead with Ice is definitely not something I would have done. That's just poor. This is a poor decision, honestly. Flackhead's a really good player, and if you can't tell him, you just don't have an eye for the game. Is what I think. Kraken, Sheo, Siren, Ice, Den. Sheo is obviously a really good jungler that played on BDS or Shifters for a long time, and now he's going to be on Team Heretics. And this will all depend on how well he meshes with his mid jungle. So I'm just going to put these guys in the I don't know tier, actually, because I really don't know anything about these players aside from Sheo and Ice. Team Vitality: Linkus, Humanoid, Karzi, Fleshy, Naknako. This team can be good. You have Humanoid and Karzi reuniting on the same team, which is going to be really fun to see. You guys see how the interaction between Humanoid and Karzi. These guys are like best friends, and they keep trolling each other on Twitter. It's nice to see them reunited on the same team again. But I don't think I'm scared. I don't know how they're going to stack up against the other teams, as Naknako despite having already like 1 year in the LEC, is what I think. I think he's still like a newer player, and he hasn't really found his like a way, like a system for himself that wins him games yet. So I would put them also in the D tier. Not as bad as Navi, but not as bad as Navi and also higher than BES. So I put them this right above high B. Los Ratones. This team is a team that everybody has been excited for. You have the Bows, Velia, Nemesis, Brownie, and Reckless. Despite how much respect I have for Nemesis and Reckless, I don't think the rest of the team will be able to stack up against a lot of the other teams, because I hate to say it, or actually no, I don't hate to say it. Their ball laner and jungler are their weakest roles, is what I think. And if your jungler is weak and your ball lane is weak, these are the two fundamental, one of the biggest roles of the game. The 2v2, if your 2v2 lane and your jungler are the weakest part of your link, or the weakest link of your team, you're just not gonna have a good time. You compare Velia to any of these junglers, and he's probably bottom of the list. This guy has barely played pro. He started like 1 year ago, and he's matching up against all these other junglers, despite having a really good coach, Cadriel and Yamato, teaching him how to play the game now. You're not going to be able to adapt fast enough, even if you are mechanically skilled, to how the game is being played at an LEC level. And Brownie and Reckless, I think if you match these two up against most of these ball lanes here, they're just never gonna win out. I bet they lose like 9 out of 10 times against every single ball lane on this list, except maybe some of the ball lanes that I'm not too familiar with on C-Dom. On some D, Keizo and Prime, or maybe even Jope and Mickey X. But they're definitely one of the weakest ball lanes, I think. I don't think. I might get hate for this, but Brownie, as I've seen him play, he's really inconsistent and he gets caught a lot. And these two guys' ball lane synergy together leaves much to be desired, especially when I saw them play against the Vietnamese team during, what was it, MSI, or I'm not quite sure. They were playing against the Vietnamese team bot lane while the Vietnamese bot lane was playing on 200 ping, and they got 2v2 killed by players that were playing on 200 ping. It was, yeah, it's just a bad look. Vietnamese team 2026 LOL MSI. Let's try to find their team. It was, yes, GAM Esports. And was this a bot lane? Artemis and Taki. When they replaced the support apparently, and it's unfortunate that they benched. No, it's fortunate that Levi retired, huh? Anyways, oh, there we go. Elio. It was Artemis and Elio, and they scrimmed versus GAM Esports, and they died 2v2 versus the Vietnamese bot lane. Even if they are like a world-class bot laner, or they're a bot lane that can compete on the world stage, dying to players that are playing on 200 ping is insane. Like, what are we doing? And I see Brownie get caught out so many times during their matches and scrims. And I think there are a lot of issues. I think there are more issues than people can really tell and see that make this ball lane a pretty low level one, is what I would say. Yeah. I'm gonna put them above Navi, but I have no faith in them. Army Corps Blue, these guys shit on Lost Protones, so I don't know much about them, but they're at least there. Alright, I think that's it for my LEC 2026 lock and tier list. If you guys, oh yeah, let's compare my tier list to their tier list. I have G2 Koi AC, G2 Koi AC, nice, yeah. Giant X Fnatic SK, Giant X, oh, they have Giant X below Fnatic, but in the relatively around the same tier, and X Fnatic, and Vitality, interesting. I have Vitality in upper B, so it's not too far off. And Na'Vi, wow, they have Na'Vi way above where I have them. I have a lot of faith in them apparently. BDS above, just one below Na'Vi actually. Team Heretics, SK, Lost, Penance, Carbon Blue. So they don't believe in SK and as much as I do. I think SK would be good. I think these guys are doomers. I don't think they're anywhere actually. Yeah, I don't think they're even close to being Lost Protones or Farming Core level. But it's like, look at compare their bot lane, bro. You have Reckless. He plays like he just started learning the role. I'm not gonna lie. And you have like the seasoned veteran Mickey X. Like you match Mickey X versus Reckless. Just that by itself, that just shows how big the gap is there. So I really disagree with this SK versus Lost Protones thing. And yeah, it's like they have Farming Blue below Lost Protones, despite how Farming Blue got like a lot of notoriety for how hard Yukino just shit on like Velia 3 games in a row and 3-0'd them. Like that was crazy. I can't believe that they put this here. Let's see what they said. Last time we did not see them perform at an optimal level, and for this reason we have, as that is not true, what yielded the audience organized from them. Prime Blue must with 2 players that were still competing element. Months ago, this team would nonetheless be able to get what? Who cares, bro? Yeah. Anyways, that's it for my LEC tier list. If you guys disagree with anything, or you hate me because I said LR was bad, let me know, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.